Hey, good morning everybody from the West Coast Paydirt. Let's see, we got a item going to Blackfoot, Idaho to Mr. Jeff Anderson. Thank you for supporting us there, Mr. Anderson, here at the West Coast Paydirt. We appreciate that a lot. And remember, often imitated, never ever duplicated. Back to you, Jeff.
Hey, winter showed up finally. And for everybody down in Texas and Oklahoma, they're really struggling. Okay, it's not funny. I'm sorry. So I got some boxes there on the steps. Let's go look at what's going out today. Oh, the Peterbilt will be here today. Woohoo! Just in time. Waxed up fuel and 50 weight in a crankcase. It'll be interesting to see how we get that off the trailer. Stay tuned. Okay, got some stuff going to Lee Roberts in Lexington, Kentucky. One going to Michael Colley in Ireland. Michael, it's what is today? Jeez Louise, it's Tuesday, February the 16th. Let me know how long it takes that box to get to you. That'll be interesting. Got one going to Thomas Peasley in Lapeer, Michigan. One going to Sierra in Boonville, Arkansas. John Steckety in Arkville, New York. And Jeff Storer in Springfield, Ohio. Hey, I hope it thaws out for you down there in Oklahoma, Frank. Bad deal. Well, the Peterbilt made it.
At the truck shows, out there on the open road, even in the driveway at his house. Johnny keeps it spit shining on it all the time. He wants it looking good when he goes out. Why do people laugh at him and shake their head when he pulls in the parking lot? He's just another trucker man trying his best to fit right in, but fit or not. He drives a old purple Peterbilt and he don't care how people feel about it. 'Cause that old purple Peterbilt looks so good it makes him feel so proud of it. Some drivers call him sissy man, but he don't let it get to him, he'll shout it. He drives a royal purple Peterbilt and he don't care how people feel about it. Yeah. Could have a green one, although he's never seen one that looks as good as what he's got right now. Black might look more manly, or red like Christmas candy might help his clearance lights and chrome stand out. Then maybe that would be enough to end the jokes about his truck from all his friends. But he'll live with the teasing, 'cause he ain't out for pleasing no one but him. He drives a old purple Peterbilt and he don't care how people feel about it. 'Cause that old purple Peterbilt looks so good it makes him feel so proud of it. Some drivers call him sissy man, but he don't let it get to him, he'll shout it. He drives a old purple Peterbilt and he don't care how people feel about it. You know, there's a lot of truck drivers out there on the road, just like Johnny, a purple truck is their second home. And they'll be the first to tell you, son, you better leave old Johnny alone. He drives a royal purple Peterbilt and he don't care how people feel about it. 'Cause that royal purple Peterbilt looks so good it makes him feel so proud of it. Some drivers call him sissy man, but he don't let it get to him, he'll shout it. He drives a royal purple Peterbilt It takes a real man to have the guts to drive a purple truck like that. Hey, don't make fun of that purple truck. Just look at them lime green ones. I wouldn't make fun of that banana-looking yellow truck over there. Or what about that baby blue with the rust on the bumper thing?
Okay, Lauren, she's off the map now. She's smoking and missing. It's all right up though. So Matt and I took it out for a drive, and we got the water temperature up. It took forever, but the oil temperature has come way up. I'm kind of curious why the oil temperature is so hot and the coolant is not. So I'm gonna go get the heat gun. We're gonna give it a bath, put it in the shop, and start doing some testing. 183 degrees, and all the rest of them are like 260.
Oh, so that ain't firing.
Some, yeah, number one injector must be bad. Okay, now she's a smoking. He smoked up my shop, Lauren. She's a smoking now. So here we have the pretty Peterbilt, and it's all washed. And here's our illustrious governor, Jerry Brown. And our beautiful motor we're gonna fix. What do you think, Livy?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is it pretty?
Good thing I moved the pan up that far, huh?
Yeah, good thing you didn't drop the plug just in case it's got 15 gallons in it.
Well, we're not half full yet. It's starting to peter out.
Petering out the Peterbilt? Are y'all petered out? That's a lot of oil.
Sure is.
Oh, there we go. She's dying now, finally. Looks like me in the middle of the night.
It's getting there. Got prostate problems?
Nothing on the plug, or is it magnetic?
Couldn't appear to be magnetic.
Well, let me go get you a paper towel, and you can just set it on a paper
Oh, it's
towel.
magnetic.
Is it?
Ain't shit on it. That's cool.
I'll grab you a paper towel here. Round and round we go. Oh, Griffin got into the paper towels. There you go. So he's got a Fleet Guard filter on it. It's a F3000? No, it's gonna be, yeah, LF3000 is going. Wait a minute. Yeah, LF3000. So we got gave the Peterbilt a bath. It's quite a bit nicer and shinier. Got it in the shop here, about gagged us out. You know, when I was in California, it just ran clean as a whistle. But for some reason, it just started acting up. Oh, it was smoking bad. Anyway, we've drained the oil. So tomorrow we'll start working on it, trying to diagnose it, see what we can find. The first thing we do anytime something comes in the shop is the battery cables get disconnected. Not gonna leave something in here to burn down and burn the shop down. So it's just a safety thing that we do. Bring pickups in, I don't care what it is. If it's got a battery in it, it gets disconnected. So this is kind of interesting. I think somebody stole one of your batteries, Lauren. I've never seen a 3 battery setup before. They're usually 4. At least on a Kenworth, there's 4 batteries. Batteries. You gotta have 4 batteries. Anyway, it's a very, very nice truck. The paint is still in really good condition, except right up there on the top there, it's really faded, but I think we could fix that. People were asking me what kind of suspension it has. It has Rayco spring suspension. And Lauren really liked it. It is a smooth riding truck. She's got a pintle hitch on her. And them good old California Howdy plates. I'm gonna have to put those on the wall. I got me a Filthy Horse sticker on it already. Oh, it's a very nice truck. I'm very grateful that Lauren sold it to me. We're gonna take good care of it. Hey, good chilly, frosty morning to you, everybody. I think it's chilly everywhere in the United States. So Brian Block sent me some troubleshooting and testing procedures for this N14. So what have I discovered so far? I have discovered that number 1 cylinder runs 150 degrees at idle versus 280 for the other cylinders, so we got an injector problem. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you who've offered suggestions. Gonna be looking for more suggestions as we proceed. I get by with a little help from my friends. I will be a certified Cummins mechanic when I get done with this, and I have you to thank for it. Okay, it's time for a PD update. Guess we're calling it PD. So, what have we done here? Been tearing stuff apart. Got to replace the main suction hose for the power steering reservoir. So Matt drained the oil out of that, and I've cleaned the canister out. The filter was toast. Matter of fact, the gasket off the filter had come off, and it was half of it was inside the intake line headed for the pump. Tomorrow Matt's gonna start tearing the oil pump off of it. We have stripped the cooler off this side. That right there is the oil cooler. Fluid in, fluid out, coolant anyway on that end, and then oil through here. That's not much of an oil cooler, is it? That's pretty teeny weeny. Anyway, it wasn't too bad to get out of there. Just we took the turbo off and then took the air lines out, just unbolted it, come right out. But so Cummins uses a oil thermostat, and this one is a 225 degree, but it's not fully open till 240 degrees. So it doesn't send any oil through the oil cooler until the oil temperature reaches, this starts to open at 225. And it goes in the end of that housing there. Once it starts to open, it has to seal right here. Otherwise the oil just goes through it. And then once it opens, it seals up against this bevel. And there's a chamfer in the housing. And then once this opens, it allows the oil to travel through that port. Anyway, it allows it to go through the cooler is basically what it does. So Cummins, an N14 is a low pressure, high volume system. 35 pounds is about all you need. But unfortunately, as the oil gets hot, the hotter it gets, the worse the pressure goes. And Lauren said that when you get it really good and warm in the summertime, at idle, the alarm buzzer inside will sound. So one of the things I need to tell you is this is not an electronic N14. Even though this engine is in a 1998 Peterbilt, it is not an electronic. This engine is a 1991. So it's completely mechanical. So it doesn't have the computer, doesn't have any of that stuff on it. So at this point, basically, I've got a new oil cooler coming. We'd be fools not to replace that. We're gonna get the pump off. We're gonna go through that, make sure it's good. Tear out the STC control valve. This is the oil supply line that goes inside, and all these hoses, even the fuel hoses, are just rock hard. They won't hardly bend. So we'll probably be replacing all these, make sure that they're not coming apart inside and sending junk in there. They're all cooked. The next part is we've got to get into number one injector and pull it. There's something going on and there's something wrong with it. While we're at it, we probably should just pull them all out and check them, see what kind of condition they're in. That's what we're doing. So what do I think's gonna happen here? I got to be honest with you. I think by the time we're done, we're gonna have the pan off and we're gonna be looking at the rods and mains, measuring the crank, see what's going on. Anyway, I've been talking to Brian Block about it, and so he's my Cummins go-to guy. So anyway, we'll just keep going until we figure out what's wrong. So I was going to show you the piston cooling nozzles, where they go. There they are right there with the one bolt in them. And my pipe dream was that we were going to find one that was broke, and that was going to fix the oil pressure and I'd drive it home, but that didn't happen. 50 bucks says before this is all said and done, I got the jakes off, I got everything off, got the pan off. Yeehaw. It's a good thing I'm a patient man, isn't it? Okay, so we've been working hard on the Peterbilt. Matt got the oil pump out, got it tore down. So I sent some pictures to Brian Block. The wear pattern on these gears is pretty weird. It's wearing really hard on the bearings on one side. So Brian says it may be that the bearings are not in there straight, the bore's not straight. It's pretty scuffed down in the bottom here, and then on the sides it's like a dirt road, kind of rough. The end plate is just absolutely beautiful. There's no real wear marks at all. There's a few scratches here. This is the regulator valve that goes inside the pump. It sets the pressure so that basically I assume you're not going to get more than 35 psi because it's an N14. Okay, so here's a picture of the viscosity sensor. You've got a hose that runs up here to the drilled rifle passage, and then this hose continues on up to the STC control, and then you've got another one that goes into the drilled passage here, and then this hose goes up to the pump. You can see it here, it loops around, goes to the pump. So it's an interesting system, but that's why N14s do not have a lot of oil pressure. They're designed not to have any. But when the alarm goes off, that's not enough. So the power steering pump runs off the end of the oil pump gear, driven gear, and the shaft is shot and the coupler was shot. So I've got a new shaft and the seals and the bearing coming. This had to have been leaking power steering fluid out of it pretty bad. And when they leak power steering fluid, it goes in that hole down in there, see the daylight? And then that runs right back into the engine. I've got a new oil cooler coming out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It is made in America. That was important. I've ordered a whole bunch of Cummins parts. Looks like we're going to go ahead and replace that oil pump. So tomorrow I will order that pump. It's $972 for that. Got to replace these hoses. These are brittle. They just crack and pop. That one is terrible. Listen. Yeah, that's bad. So I'll replace all that and the hoses up there along that, and then take the covers off and see what we got going inside there.
Hey, guess what? Pan's off. Jake's got Matt got the patent down. Somebody got it down. Anyway, Jake's pulled main bearings off, a couple of them, and one rod bearing journal. We measured the rod bearing journal. It's at 3.497, which is the minimum, and the maximum is 499, 3.499. So we're going to put bearings in it, and hope that fixes that pressure problem.
This is the lower half of a main bearing. Jake cut it off so he could use it as a tool to push the upper out. Yeah, this is the lower, and he cut it off so he could push this upper one out. Anyway, that's the upper, and then these are the rods. All your wear happens on the upper in the rod, and then that's the lower. So bearings are pretty well trashed. So this is the power steering pump shaft, and Jake said the seal was literally burned and seized to the shaft, and that the seal cartridge was rotating in the housing. So the sealed bearing probably prevented a lot of oil from going down in the crankcase. But let me show you the pan. So the pan, we drained it into a cutoff drum there, and then we poured it in 5-gallon buckets and took it out and dumped it in our waste tank. And they took out 2 5-gallon full buckets and half another bucket. So it was way over full on engine oil. So how much of that was power steering oil or fuel? We're not really sure. I have ordered a brand new pump. I've been getting all my genuine Cummins stuff from a place in California called Source One. They have really good prices. So I've got a brand new pump coming. I've ordered the main bearings. I've ordered Clevite main bearings. I got those from Jegs, believe it or not. But the rod bearings, nobody seems to have them. I don't know what the deal is. They all say estimated ship date sometime in March, and then others just say it's out of stock. So I got to do some checking around and see if I can find the rod bearings. She's going to run again. People are probably going to say, Jeff, why didn't you just overhaul the whole thing? Overhaul kit's cheap. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to do it. I just don't. But I do have to give a special thank you to Brian Block. He's a good friend to have. He's a very, very knowledgeable machinist and mechanic. And so I've been sending him pictures. He has been sending me the part numbers and the kit numbers for the pieces, parts that I need to buy for this based off of my identification number on the tag. Okay, the boy's been working on the truck. I've been working on putting my heater box together. And I've got her assembled. So at this point, I'm lacking one of these clips right here. And I think I know there's one local guy that's got some of these cars. I'll go visit him and see if he's got a spare. And then that's ready to go in the car. But remember I was telling you that I couldn't find the rod bearings? You're going to love this. Brian Block just texted me a set of rod bearings on eBay. They're not Clevite, they're FP diesel. They're in Blackfoot, Idaho. $35 for a complete set. That's 12 bearing halves. $35. So I bought them. Anyway, thanks, Brian. That's hilarious. I can't even find parts in my own town. It takes somebody from Kentucky. Okay, now we're done. Got the rubber seal on here, got the motor in, got this seal on, insulation, got this last vacuum chamber put on. Let's see. Okay, now it's ready to go into the car. Wish me luck. It's a good thing I'm a patient man. Oh, I lied to you. I don't have any of the vacuum hoses that go up over here and attach on the box. And then they go over to the dash control. I have none of that. I cannot put that in till I get a new one. I've had a terrible time finding that. I have a couple more places I need to call. Sorry for lying to you. That's not going in until I get that. Shoot. Okay, I don't want to come across as a liar or anything. It's in the car. Not quite inward, see? But it's in the car, okay? It's in the car. Good thing I'm a patient man.
It's alright. It's alright.